So, good afternoon to everyone. We are the reporters of the TIA or Telecommunications Industry Association. So, first, what is TIA? The Telecommunications Industry Association is the leading trade association representing the global information and communications technology or ICT. Through standards development, policy initiatives, business opportunities, market intelligence, and networking events. With support from hundreds of members, TIA enhances the business environment for companies involved in telecom, broadband, mobile wireless, information technology, networks, cable, satellite, unified communications, emergency communications, and the greening of technology. Also, it is a trade association which is accredited by the American National Standards Institute or ANSI in order to develop industry standards for information and communication technologies. Products such as cellular towers, data terminals, VoIP devices, satellites, telephone terminal equipment, and many more. TIA originally organized in 1924 as a group of manufacturers and suppliers to the independent telephone industry in the United States. The group in 1979 incorporated as a separate association, the United States Telecommunication Suppliers Association, USTSA, sponsoring telecom exhibitions and seminars, including the sponsorship of the United States Pavilion in the renowned World Telecom exhibit of the ITU. USTSA changed its name to TIA in April 1988 as a result of the merger of USTSA and the Information and Telecommunications Technology Group of the Electronic Industries Association or EIA. So TIA serves as a part of board of directors and numerous committees and forums doon sa ANSI or American National Standards Institute. Also, doon naman sa International Electrotechnical Commission or IEC, nag-serve naman siya as the US National Committee Council and Technical Management Committee. Tapos, member sila ng US Electronic Component Certification Board or ECCB. Nagsaserve naman sila as part of Board of Directors naman dun sa SES or Standards Engineering Society. And meron pa, nagsaserve naman sila sa International Committee for Information Technology Standards as a executive board. Tapos, co-sponsor nila ang Administrative Council for Terminal Attachments or ACTA. So, TIA standards. Meron silang members from all over the industry and currently represents nearly 400 different companies. Nire-represent din ng TIA yung global information and communications technology industries through developing standards, government affairs, market intelligence, business opportunities, worldwide regulatory compliance, as well as certification. Ito naman yung mga parang goal. So, TIA aims to enhance the business environment for the organizations involved in broadband, telecommunications, information technology, mobile wireless technology, cabling and satellite, networking, unified and emergency communications, and further unifying of technology. Parang ito lang din sinabi ko sa pinakauna, yun sa unang slide, if I'm not mistaken. So, ito naman yung members nila or active members. So, yung TIA is meron siyang more than 600 active member participants from service providers, equipment manufacturers, academic institutions, government agencies, and end users, which are divided among the 12 engineering committees of TIA's Standards and Technology Department. So, yung TIA Standards and Technology Department is nag-ooperate ng 12 engineering committees, sabi nga natin kanina, which nagde-develop sila ng guidelines para sa mga to. First is sa mobile and personal private radio standards. Second is sa point-to-point communication systems. Third is the multimedia access, protocols, and interfaces. Fourth is satellite equipment and systems. Fifth is user premises telecommunications requirements. Sixth is telecommunications cabling systems. Meron pa dito, pang 7, mobile and personal communication system standards. 8, terrestrial mobile multimedia multicast. 9th is vehicular telematics. 10th is healthcare ICT. 11th, M2M smart device communications. 12, smart utility networks. So, TIA standards formulation. TIA is accredited by the American National Standards Institute or ANSI as a Standards Developing Organization, STO. Participation in TIA standards formulating groups is open to all interested parties and does not require TIA membership.
TIA standards formulation. Standards and other technical documents are formulated in TIA pursuant to rules established in TIA's engineering manual. The manual, which is reviewed periodically, was last revised effective on March 10, 2005. To assist users of the manual, TIA's relevant committee also prepared guidelines to the intellectual property rights policy of TIA. Every new standard project begins as a technical contribution in one of TIA's engineering committees or subcommittees. If there is support for the contribution, a project initiation notice or PIN form is completed and submitted for approval by TIA staff. After the project is approved for initiation, the formulating engineering committee or subcommittee will continue to develop the technical parameters of the project. When the proposed standard nears completion, the engineering group will choose to submit the document for approval as a TIA standard, an American national standard, or both. The draft of the proposed document must be circulated for voting and comments as a committee letter ballot. The purpose of the ballot is to establish consensus on the draft document and to resolve any remaining issues. During this phase of the standards making process, the draft of the document is not released to the general public. After the final draft of the document has obtained committee consensus, the balloting information and supporting documents are reviewed by the Telecommunication Standards Subcommittee of TIA's Board of Directors. To ensure that due process and other requirements have been met, upon completion of this review, the document will be approved for publication as a TIA standard and will be made available for public purchase. TIA Standards Formulation American National Standard. The draft of the proposed document must be circulated as an industry-wide standards proposal or SP ballot pink ballot. During the balloting period, the SP ballot can be purchased through IHS Global Incorporation, and any interested entities may submit one of three responses to the ballot: affirmative, affirmative with comment, or negative with comment. After the final draft of the document has obtained industry consensus, the balloting information and supporting documents are reviewed by the Telecommunication Standards Subcommittee of TS Board of Directors. To ensure that due process and other requirements have been met, upon completion of this review, the document information is forwarded to the American National Standards Institute or ANSI. Board of Standards Review BSR with request for approval. If the document is approved as an American national standard, then TIA will publish the standard and make it available for public purchase. American national standard must be reaffirmed, modified, or rescinded every 5 years. TI Standards Formulation. Review of the manual guidelines is done by the Intellectual Property Rights Standing Committee or IPRSC. The Standing Committee meets from time to time and is currently in the process of reviewing the manual in the light of the recent developments, including judicial and administrative proceedings. The changes in the 2005 manual, some of which will be now highlighted, are reflections of that process and the work done by the IPRSC. TI Standardization Rules and Policies. The process of the standards formulation and the role of TIA in that process is introduced in the guidelines. TIA is the administrator of the standards formulation process. TIA is not the writer of the standards. This latter work is carried on by the many participants in the formulating groups and its sub-elements, also known as engineering committees, subcommittees, and working groups, who carry on the writing and developing of standards with the administrative oversight and assistance of TIA and its Standards and Technology Department. TIA's policy is similar in its treatment of intellectual property to the treatment in a number of internationally known standards formulation bodies, including the ITU, ISO, IEC, ETSI, or IEEE. Although TIA is accredited by ANSI, some aspects of its policy deal with matters not dealt by ANSI. However, TIA's policy is consistent with the ANSI policies and subject to review and audit by ANSI, which is reaffirmed TIA's accreditation after such review.
So TIA standard rules and standardizations, rules and policies. TIA's policies differ from that of ANSI in two aspects. TIA treats published pending patent application in the same manner as issued patents, and TIA applies its IPR policies to essential copyright in software subject, however, to certain cautionary provisions. TIA standards. The TIA's most widely adopted standard include TIA 942, Telecommunication Infrastructure Standard for Data Centers, TIA 568, Telecommunication cabling standard used by nearly all voice, video, and data networks. TIA 569, commercial building standard for telecommunication, pathways, and spaces. TIA 607, commercial grounding, earthing standards. TIA standards. ANSI TIA 942B. The ANSI or TIA 942B specification references private and domain data. Center requirements for data center infrastructure, elements such as network architecture, electrical design, mechanical system redundancy for electrical, mechanical, and telecommunication, fire safety, physical security, and efficiency. TIA 568, telecommunication cabling standard used by nearly all voice, video, and data networks. So, ito si RJ45. So, siya yung madalas natin ginagamit. So, si RJ45, meron siyang 8 pin. So, pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then, meron siyang dalawang pair. Si T568A pair and T568B pair. So, dito kay 1 and 2, meron siyang 3 pair. Dito sa KB, meron 2. Dito kay 3, may 2. And KB, meron siyang 3. Then, doon naman kay 4 and 5, pareha silang 1. Then kay 6, 2, tapos 3. Then kay 7 and 8, meron silang pareha sa 4. So, 10 base T, 100 base to TX, or twisted pair, yung ibig sabihin nito. So, yung TX means transmitting data. So, si 1 and 2, sila yung nagtatransmit ng data. Then si 3 and 6, sila naman yung nag-receive ng data. So, bali si 4 and 5, and 7 and 8, hindi sila nag-transmit or nag-receive ng data. So, dito naman kay 1,000 base T signal, meron tayong apat na meron si data A, yung DA, ibig sabihin data A. Then si DB, data B, si DC, data C, and si data D. So sa wire naman, si pin 1 is yung tip, tapos si pin 2, si ring, then pin 3, si tip ulit, ring, tip, ring, tip, ring. So sa color naman, meron tayong dalawang, dahil meron nga tayong dalawang type ng So ang pinagkaiba nila, pag kami nakita kayong white green stripe, sa una, yan, si T568A na yun. So kapag naman may nakita kayong white orange stripe sa una, si T568B naman yun. So yan. So yung pin 2 natin sa T568, green solid, doon naman sa B, orange solid, then A ulit, white orange stripe. So AB, white green stripe, then pareho sa may 4 nila, pareho silang blue. Then sa may pin 5 nila, pareho silang white blue stripe. So kay 6, pin 6, orange solid, AA, tapos green solid naman kay B. Yun naman kay 7 and 8, pareho silang white, brown stripe, and brown solid. So TIA standards, TIA 569B, the Telecommunication Industry Associations. TIA 569B is a commercial building standard for telecommunications pathways and spaces standardizes specific pathway and space design and construction practices in support of telecommunication media and equipment within buildings. So TIA standards, TIA 607B. Groundings and bounding not only save lives by preventing electrical hazards, they also maintain a network overall performance by ensuring that electromagnetic noise doesn't interfere with data transmission. whether the telecommunication system is based on shielded twisted pair or unshielded twisted pair. TIA 607B requires that each and every metallic component making contact with a telecom cabling structure be bounded even if it's merely touching another metal component that is directly attached. So TIA standards, the TIA mostly widely adopted standard include TIA 598 fiber optic color coding, TIA 222 structural standard for antenna supporting structures and antennas, TIA 602 data transmission system and equipment which standardizes the common basic voice command set, TIA 102 land mobile communication for public safety, APCO or P25. So TIA standards, TIA 59C fiber color code search. So sa may fiber number natin, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hanggang 12. So si 1 is po ang color name blue, si 2 naman is orange, then si 3 is green, si 4 brown, si 5 is tail, 6 white, 7 is red, 8 black, 9 yellow, 10 violet, 11 rose, 12 aqua. So TIA standards, TIA 607B. The command set, also known as the 80 command set, is a specific command language originally developed by Dennis Ives for the high smart modem 300 baud modem in 1981. The command set consists of a series of short text strings which can be combined to produce commands for operations such as dialing, hanging up, and changing the parameters of the connection. The vast majority of dial-up modems use the HICE command set in numerous variations. TIA standards, TIA 102. TIA 102 concerns the functionality and perform necessary to enable interoperable multi-one-factor implementation of open interfaces, services, and features for digital line mobile radio or LMR. Equipment, they are continuously evolving as a result of advancement in LMR technologies, emerging LMR operation needs, and other factors. LMR service, radio spectrum, regulatory changes. So, yun lang po.